Hello there, and welcome back to Pixelmon. I've previously spent 100 days on the Poke Saga server, so if you haven't seen that, you definitely should. But to catch up to speed, I built a giant base, and this ended up taking a lot of my time. I also got 3 of my Pokemon to level 100. Now, I have a lot I want to accomplish in these 200 days. First, I want to get the rest of my team to level 100. So, if you can't do math, 3 more. Then I would like to do a lot of work on the inside of my base. I would also like to win a Pokemon Bingo and a Poke Hunt. And last but not least, I would like to catch a legendary. I was unable to complete a lot of my goals last time, so let's see if we can accomplish all of them this time. Now, it's time to begin. Day 101, I was standing on top of my base. Since last time, a few bases have popped up around me, so I took a tour of them. If you guys want to come on the server, do /warp Ironiq to come to my base, and feel free to build near me. I like the little community we got going on. I then immediately used all my kits. I used lots of my rare candies on Sheldor, getting him to level 70. I then used the rest on Pumpkaboo, getting her to level 57. Day 102, I did a medium Poke Hunt, and the goal was to catch a Spinda. While searching for Spinda, I also was catching lots and lots and lots of other Pokemon. I want to eventually complete the Pokédex, so this was a good start. Day 103, I gave up on finding Spinda, because for the life of me, I couldn't find it. Day 104, another house popped up. I also ran into another person, and a fellow flyer. Looky there. The next thing I wanted to do was win a Poke Bingo, since last time I was unable to. Looking at the bingo board, I thought the best and easiest route to take was the far right column going up and down. So I headed to catch a Carablast. On the night of day 105, I found it. I threw some Ultra Balls at it, and it was caught. 4 more to go. The next Pokemon I went after was Staravia. But before that, I went to go open a skill crate. And I got 15k. Dang. That's pretty good. I'll take that. I then found a really cool base in the mountains and took a tour around it. They were definitely way more rich than me. Just look at this base. Day 107, I found a Staravia. It took a while to catch it, but I eventually did. Day 108, I spent the whole day looking for an Absol to spawn in the mountains, but it never did. So I moved on to the next one. Day 109, I was in an ocean looking for a Bruxish. I also somehow got an XP share, which was actually pretty cool. Anyways, I finally found a Bruxfish, and it was level 50. So it took a fight, but I eventually got it. So if we look at the bingo board, I only needed 2 more Pokemon to win. I needed a Dunsparce and an Absol. So on day 110, I headed to a desert. A couple days at the desert and no sign of a Dunsparce. Day 113, I found another gym thingy. So I headed in to take it out. Even with 3 level 100 Pokemon, the trainers were very tough to beat. But I eventually took out all of the trainers. It was now time to fight the gym leader, and he destroyed me. So I fought him again, and he destroyed me again. I then fought him about 10 more times, and he destroyed me every single time. So I took a little break, and while I was doing that, I saw a Groudon just chilling on the top of the arena. This was my chance to catch a legendary, but then I realized it was just a boss. I tried fighting it multiple times, but he one-shot everything. Literally, all of my Pokemon he one-shot every single time. I needed help, so I used my kits and got Sheldor to level 100 with the rare candies. But it still was not enough. So with the money I got earlier, I bought a Water Stone to evolve Sheldor. And there it was. Sheldor was now a Cloyster and looking like a beast. I went back and fought the gym leader. It took lots and lots and lots of battles. Too many. But I finally beat him. I got a heat badge and a flamethrower TM. I then tried to beat the boss Groudon again. But as before, it destroyed me every single time. I kept battling it and was hoping I'd get lucky. And I did. Just not by beating it. After the Groudon took me out for what it seemed like the 100th time, I looked behind me and there it was. A Dunsparce. I immediately caught it. I was now 1 Pokemon away from winning the bingo. Day 117 and 118, I was in the Extreme Hills biome looking for an Absol. I could not find one, so on day 119, I headed to the end because Absols can also spawn there. And I immediately found one. That would have saved a lot of time. It took a few Ultra Balls, but I finally caught it and won the Poke Bingo. I then collected my reward. It was 25k. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take that. Day 120, I tried to complete a Flash Poke Hunt. I needed to find a Stunky before anyone else, so I headed to a swamp. While searching for a Stunky, I used this time to catch a lot of the Pokemon I didn't have. And soon after, I found a Stunky and caught it. But it wasn't the right size, so I kept looking. It actually didn't take too long, because in just a few more minutes, I found another one. I threw an Ultra Ball at it, and it was caught. And this time, it was the right size. So, for winning the Flash Hunt, I received a Master Key. So, I went to use it, and I got a God Axe. Like, dang, just look at this thing. It had Efficiency 8, Fortune 5, and Unbreaking 8. Yeah, I can see why they called this thing the God Axe. Day 122, I started an insane Poke Hunt. This is the highest and hardest tiered one they have. And the Pokemon I needed to catch was an Umbreon. For the next 5 days, I was in the plains looking for an Umbreon, but they have a very rare chance of spawning, and it never did. So I gave up and headed home on day 127. I then did some work on my base, placing carpets, doors, and making a chest room. I then bought some PCs and Poke Healers and placed them in the lobby area, or whatever you call this place in my base. I also bought a trader. Just look at this thing. Day 130, I started a medium Poke Hunt. I needed to find a Rockruff, so I headed to a Taiga Hills. While looking for it, as always, I caught lots of other Pokemon to add to my Pokédex. I also cut down lots of spruce trees with my new God Axe. Day 132, I found the perfect Rockruff and caught it. It took me like 4 different ones until I got the right sized one. My reward was a 3 times incense. So, with this incense, I started yet another Poke Hunt. This time, a hard one. I needed to catch a Durant, so I headed to the Mesa. The next 3 days, I was looking for a Durant, and I didn't even find one, even with the incense. So, I gave up again. Day 136, it was time to get the rest of my team to level 100. I started with Punkaboo, and 8 days of pure grinding later, I got her to level 100. Next was Aggron, which actually didn't take too long, only till day 149. And then my whole team was level 100. Day 153, I did this weird bounce game thing, and I failed tremendously. Day 154, I was in the swamp looking for a Gliscor, because I did another insane hunt, and that's who I needed to catch. I was in the swamp for another 5 days, and no sign of a Gliscor. I then found a really cool feature that this server has on day 159. If you do /GTS, it takes you to a player-made store, where you can put your own items up for sale or buy another person's. I noticed Master Balls were quickly being bought, and I had a lot of Master Balls, so I put some of my own up for sale. I then went back to looking for this Gliscor. I was there for yet another 5 days, and there was still no sign of it. I then noticed I had an orb in my inventory, and from past knowledge of playing Pixelmon, I knew I could turn this orb into a legendary Pokemon. So on day 165, I was at my base. I then bought a Firestone from the shop. I then combined the orb with the Firestone, making an orb of fiery souls. I now needed to beat lots and lots and lots and lots of wild Pokemon to fill up the orb. So on day 166, I headed back to the swamp. Many days later, the orb was full. If you didn't know, to fill the orb, I needed to beat 375 wild Pokemon. Yeah, that's a lot. So you shouldn't be surprised that it took me until day 182 to have the orb filled. I also caught a lot of Pokemon I didn't have to fill up my Pokédex some more. Day 183, I headed to the amazing shrine warp the server has. Just look how beautiful this place is. I then walked to the Moltres shrine. I put the orb inside, and there it was, our first legendary encounter. I then threw a Master Ball at it. Moltres was now ours, and we did it. We caught our first legendary Pokemon. Just look at this amazing legendary bird. Dang, I feel accomplished. But I wanted more. So on day 184, I made an orb of static souls. I now needed to fill this one up. So I headed to the plains. Why the plains, you may ask? Well, I started a Poke Hunt and had to find a Buffalint. So I thought I could knock 2 birds with 1 stone. Spoiler alert, I didn't. While I was filling up the orb, I found a shiny Meowth. This was the first shiny I have found in the wild, so I wasn't going to take any chances. I threw a Master Ball at it. You may call me dumb, but I wasn't trying to take any chances, okay? It was now mine, and the chat congratulated me. Dang my ego. I then may have thrown a Master Ball at a Mareep. Whoops, there goes my ego. 375 Pokemon souls later, the orb was full. And it took until day 96. Yeah, doing it in the plains probably wasn't the smartest idea because I feel like I could have done it much, much faster. But hey, the Buffulent was worth it, even though I didn't even find it. So it wasn't worth it. I could have saved lots of time. Anyways, I headed back to the shrines. I sat in front of the Zapdos shrine. It was time. So I smacked the orb into the shrine and Zapdos spawned. But of course, Mr. Thick Boy himself had to cover the whole frickin' screen. I threw a Master Ball at Zapdos and he was mine. I celebrated. I now had 2 of the 3 legendary birds. Day 198, I was at my base doing some shopping. I bought a fossil cleaner, a cloning machine, a fossil machine, and a few more trading machines. I then messed around on where all this stuff would go. It took me a while, but I finally had the trade stations where I wanted them. I then placed some more carpet, looking good. Next, I needed to figure out where to put the fossil stuff in the cloning machine. It took a while, but I eventually found a place. And just like that, it was day 200. I sat atop my base with my team. I did it. I successfully spent 200 days on the Poke Saga server. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys want to hop on the server, here's the IP, and feel free to build around me. I like the little community place we got going on, so let's make this place sick. If you did enjoy, like and subscribe for more amazing content and smack that bell so you can be notified when I post. 20k likes and I'll release the next one. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.